Module Overview. This module aims to provide you with a comprehensive, in-depth understanding of linear perspective systems, spatial construction principles, and the practical techniques necessary to create the illusion of depth and three-dimensionality on a two-dimensional surface. You will master how to use vanishing points, horizon lines, and construction methods to accurately position objects in space and understand how perspective governs the visual world in both observational and imaginative drawing. The philosophy and necessity of perspective in drawing. Perspective is more than a technical skill, it is a way of seeing and interpreting the three-dimensional world within a two-dimensional medium. Developed during the Renaissance, linear perspective revolutionized art by bringing scientific structure and optical accuracy to drawing and painting. Key concepts: understanding human visual perception and how it relates to the representation of space. Differentiating between intuitive perspective, eye estimation, and formal perspective measured systems. Learning orthographic logic, which governs how forms reduce and shift in space. Linear perspective systems. One-point perspective involves a single vanishing point on the horizon line, suitable for drawing objects facing the viewer directly, e.g., roads, railway tracks, interiors. Parallel lines converge into one point, while vertical and horizontal lines remain straight. Two-point perspective involves two vanishing points on the horizon line, used when drawing corners or rotated boxes. No face is parallel to the viewer. All horizontal lines converge to either vanishing point. Three-point perspective adds a third vanishing point, usually above or below the horizon line. Used for dramatic bird's eye or worm's eye views, vertical lines now also converge, resulting in extreme foreshortening. Key elements of perspective drawing. Horizon line represents the viewer's eye level, determines placement of vanishing points. Vanishing points. Imaginary points where parallel lines appear to converge. Crucial for establishing depth and correct spatial scale. Station point represents the exact position of the observer. Affects distortion, angles, and field of view. Picture plane. The virtual window through which the viewer looks. Used to project measured drawings into perspective space. Construction tools and techniques. Measuring points assist in transferring correct proportions and repeating intervals in perspective. Scale transfer involves using elevation and top view to convert accurate 3D measurements into perspective. Foreshortening describes how objects appear compressed as they recede into space. Requires altering proportions to reflect visual distortion. Depth indicators beyond perspective lines. While linear perspective offers structural rules, artists must also understand additional spatial cues. Overlapping, near objects block the view of farther ones. Size, scaling. Objects reduce in size with distance. Vertical placement. Objects higher in the composition appear farther in a ground-level view. Aerial perspective. Use of value, detail, and color saturation to imply depth. Shadow perspective. Cast shadows must follow vanishing lines for realism. Perspective in organic and imaginative drawing. Organic forms. Perspective principles apply to irregular and organic shapes. Requires understanding of contours and surface wrapping. Constructive drawing. Used to build figures, vehicles, environments, and architecture. Common in concept art, product design, and animation layout. Historical applications. Renaissance masters, e.g., Brunelleschi, Alberti, Leonardo da Vinci, formalized perspective in Western art. Islamic and Eastern art often utilized an axonometric perspective, which keeps all dimensions undistorted. Cubists and futurists challenged linear perspective, offering dynamic alternatives. Practical applications and assignments. Drawing cubes, cylinders, and complex objects in various perspectives. Creating a cityscape using 2- and 3-point perspectives. Designing interior and exterior environments with believable depth. analyzing and replicating masterworks using grid overlays to deconstruct perspective.